let's get started. I'm actually going to be working on my best friend's castle. She has the plot next door to mine, and I've been given express permission to basically do whatever I want with her plot, so we'll see how it goes. Let's get started. The first thing I need to do is clear out this land before I even begin to build. But before I do that, I'm gonna make sure that I at least figure out where I'm going to put my foundation. So I'm just kind of looking at the shape of the plot, and I'm pretty sure that I do not want to use up the entire area of this plot. So I know I have mentioned before, or actually I've showed before on stream, another castle I was working on a local save. I'm still working on that castle. It's taking me a lot of time, but you know, since I can change the settings at will, it makes it a lot easier. I literally don't have to go and farm any items. I can just build the castle. Because this particular castle is on my live server, I can't just build at will. One of the reasons why I haven't really been building the local save castle on stream is because I wanted to have a time-lapse footage of it, and I'm sure you guys probably enjoy that, might like that. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe showing you guys some of that at some point, but not yet. I need to organize the footage. I don't want to just have footage of me standing there AFK, you know. I'm not really planning on keeping it, keeping the entire area flattened out like this, but I'm basically making a parking lot for the sake of preserving the land for my future use, essentially. Well, actually, something else I wanted to mention is that since the game is going to be officially released soon, I think I'm going to be focusing more on V-Rising, so I think that maybe next week I might do 2 V-Rising streams instead of 1, and I might bring back the Planet Zoo on Wednesday, but I'll have to see how things pan out. By the way, good news, the corrupting saves bug that was happening when Frontier added the gift shops option in Planet Zoo, that's been corrected now. They just released a patch to fix it, and now the corrupted saves should be loading properly now. So if anyone, if any of you play the game and you had some corrupted saves, try it out now. It should work. Do we have a date for the full release yet, or still second quarter 2024? I do not believe we have a specific date yet for the V-Rising official release. The second quarter of 2024 is still what I've heard. I don't think they've actually revealed an actual date yet. So I assume this is probably gonna happen sometime in April, maybe? April, May, if I had to guess. Sometime in the spring, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I don't know, I'm really excited because I'll show you guys. So this part of the map is supposed to be the next thing they're working on, right? And it's super exciting. So I don't know, I look forward to see what the heck this is, because I mean, I just want more opportunities to build in kind of a wintry area too. I know some people have their castles in the snow area just because they like the aesthetic, which is fine. But it'd be nice to be able to do that and be closer to the cursed forest. So that'll be cool. I don't know if they're gonna do a server wipe for that though, full-on server wipe. I would think they will, just because they're implementing so many different things. But if they're not actually fundamentally changing the map itself, they might not. So worst case scenario, we end up having to wipe servers in a few months, and if that does happen, well, it just gives me more time to work on castles, because I'll have more castles to be working on. I'm so excited for the release, guys. It's not even funny. I've just been feeling it, man. I'm super hyped. I've been thinking about all the stuff I'm gonna do. Now that I've seen what happens when a new launch comes out, so for example, when Gloomrot came out, I kind of had a lot of exploring to do, a lot of trial and error and overall just kind of learning a little bit of the mechanics of like new enemies and things like that. So my first week, I think I'm gonna spend doing that, and it's probably not gonna be until like the second or third week that I'm focusing mostly on castle building. Hope I get early access like the other content creators. Yeah, it would be nice. When Gloomrot came out, there was an opportunity for some people to beta test it, and luckily I was able to get that. They put an advert out on the server, the official V-Rising server, and they said, hey, if you're interested in, beta testing the, thing, please, sign up here or whatever. I signed up, and I was actually fortunate enough to get in. The only thing is that when you get in there, like, you can't talk about anything that you see. Like, it's basically like you're under NDA. So I don't know how they're gonna handle that. Especially because, I already own the game, so it's not like they can just give me like a token to like, I don't know, access something that I don't have, because I have the game. I don't know how this is gonna work out or how this is gonna play out in general, mostly because I am not sure if the new stuff is going to be kind of like Gloomrot, where it's like a free DLC update, or if it's going to be something that you actually have to buy as an expansion. I hope it's not the latter, but if it is, then maybe something like that could work. So I really am not sure how that's gonna... I don't know how they're gonna do it this time, because last time I had access but I couldn't share anything. So I don't know how that's gonna work. It would be nice if I could, like if I had express permission to share the early access of whatever, that'd be cool, but I don't really foresee that happening. I sent an email to Stunlock asking them if I could get an interview with Jeremy. Jeremy is the community manager for Stunlock. He is usually the guy that you see in interviews whenever people, like larger streamers and stuff, get like interviews with like people who are associated with the game. It's usually Jeremy is the person that they end up speaking with. I basically told him in but so many words, like, I'd like to have an interview to ask some questions, and if they don't want to do that, I'm open to doing a written interview. And when I say written, I mean like I would just send them, questions, and then they would email me back answers to those questions, and then I could share them with you guys. The reason why I offered that as another alternative option is because I know that it's probably not worth their time to do to do a whole, Zoom call or video call interview with like a streamer who doesn't even have like a high view count or a high whatever. Like I do, a lot of V-Rising content, but it's not to the point where people would necessarily be like... I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm too small, I think, to be able to get an interview with him, but if I could get a written interview, I'd be happy with that. Because I know you guys have a lot of questions for them, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of unfortunate. But, this is why I stream as often as I do, and why I work on the stuff I want to work on. Mostly because I just, I care about the game. I like the game a lot. This was actually the game that got me into streaming. Like, I wanted to stream this game, and that's kind of why I decided to start. So there's that. But, I guess we'll have to see how everything kind of plays out. I also asked them, like, hey, I applied for the creator program, right? And I didn't hear back from them at all when it came to the, program. But then I also found out that I'm not the only one. To be fair, I didn't really expect anyone to, like, reply, if that makes sense. Like, whenever I sign up for these creator program things, I always assume they're just gonna throw out my application, but I throw my hat in the ring just to do that. They want to get people who can talk about their game, who already have large audiences. They want that guaranteed return on investment. I completely understand that, Hell, I'd be willing to even just do a, you know, thing for free, maybe a one-time free advertisement even, just, you know, if that means that in the future I could have access to these kinds of things, I wouldn't mind that. But that would probably only be with V-Rising. I wouldn't do that for like Palia per se, for example. If they do reject me for that request, I would at least like a reason why, and if the reason has to do with the size of my audience or whatever metrics I have, yeah, I'd like to know what what kind of metrics they're looking for. I'm gonna create a little pathway here to go alongside the bridge underneath. I think this will look cool. This is gonna be like a cute little viewing area, I think. And this will be kind of like a nice little fort area. I'm thinking maybe I should put some windows on this side, close it up a little bit. I'm gonna put a solid wall here, put some more windows. Oh, this isn't a good place to put a window. These two won't have windows, this one will. And then I'm gonna put another wall on this side. I believe that just locked me in. Oh no, I'm missing a spot. There we go. So now I'm locked in. So now I have another like hidden tunnel-ish kind of thing. What's gonna be really interesting is how I place the trees on this plot, because if I have trees poking out in this one... So okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but the idea right now I'm thinking is I can put a line of trees all throughout here, and then as you're walking you can just go past the treetops, and I think it'll look really nice. Hey Stoic, are you one of my students? How is your spell incantation homework you done? Okay, Stoic, don't tell Mage Flame, right? But if their homework is not done, just say that I ate it. I'll take the blow. I'll take it for you. It's okay. Just say I ate your homework. It's a classic excuse. Why wouldn't it work, right? I just want the structure to make sense. Because, like, something I don't like about my crafting castle is how I have that one overhang that has, like, no structural, like, thing holding it up, and I just think it looks so weird. Like you see how here, like, this whole part is, like, sticking up over this area? I actually ran out of square tiles, so I couldn't place a second floor to, like, hold it up. I originally intended to do that, but I decided to sacrifice that to have a bigger garden, so I kind of don't regret it. But if I had more tile space, I would probably go back and do that, maybe. The nice thing about the location of this castle is that you do get some wildlife popping up organically by itself, like every once in a while. So it's just kind of an extra little... oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Cannot break path to... Oh, right. I'm gonna have to go back to the second floor there. Damn it. There we go. And now I'm gonna go back to the first floor. Add these in. Making sure that the structure makes sense, like I said earlier. But yeah, this is a really tedious process, like the initial setup, but actually this castle's kind of coming to me a little bit faster than normal, I would say, like when it comes to like figuring out what I want to do with the I keep saying property, but it's like a plot, right? Trying to decide what I want to do with the plot with this castle is, I think, is a little bit easier just because I've been eyeing it for so long and I knew eventually I'd be working on it. So, like, in my head, a lot of this makes sense. I think what I might do is I might actually remove some squares in certain places just to add some natural feel to the castle. Okay, so there's one problem with my current setup, and the problem is this gate right here, because there's no servant gates. Like, you can't put up a fence that's like a servant lock fence, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to clear out this stone here, this rock. I'm also gonna remove this tile, preserve the square, and I'm just gonna skip... Oh, whoops. I'm gonna skip over that spot here, and instead I'm going to create a little entryway that is connected to the actual castle. That way my servants can't like escape. Like I don't want my servants running this way, if that makes sense. Like I don't want them coming off the edge here just because they have access to the stairs. I think this is the only stairwell to this this particular plot too, so yeah, it is. So I need to make it worth it, and I'm just gonna keep it all nice and consistent. I'm gonna use this stair here. Boom. So now, oh, what? Why does it look like that? That's weird. You guys see that? How like the stairs are actually being like... Why are the stairs and... Oh, what? Okay, that was weird. I think that was just a visual glitch. That was weird. Okay. I'm just gonna move on, pretend I didn't see that. And then I'm gonna place the pillars to make sure they look correct. Yeah, I think the tall pillars are what maybe gives it that temple feel. I mean, I could do something like that. I think that I'm gonna wanna maybe add a lot of fountains and stuff just to create some kind of like, you know, audible distinction between this castle and a lot of the other castles I've made. So yeah, it looks correct on this side. Oh, I missed a spot here. So, you know, this is exactly why I do the rounds on the castles, because, you know, you think you got it and then you like realize you missed something. Let me just double check that there's not a second pillar there that I need to fix. Yeah, there is. Okay. So I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna go back up, and then I'm gonna fix that second floor again. And this is why it's important to use the least number of tiles possible when you're creating these things, because you never know when you have to go back later and make corrections, and you're gonna need these invisible foundation squares. So yeah, because you can't place the pillars without the foundations, so that's part of the reason why I say that. But yeah, now it's all looking good, it's consistent. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really grand castle once it's done.